anniversary. 10 years since a devastating earthquake rocked Haiti, killing hundreds of people.
And to this day, Haitians are still working to recover from that disaster. Our co-anchor Calvin Hughes reported from Haiti after the earthquake and has returned to see firsthand how the country is doing now. Calvin.
Nicole and Louis, Haiti was facing its darkest day a decade ago. It really was their 9/11. That magnitude 7.0 devastating earthquake not only crushed buildings, but it crushed lives. It's going to take more than 10 years for this nation to get back on its feet. But today I did see some signs of progress. A decade later, the faith of Haitians may be even stronger. We spent the day outside the Notre Dame Cathedral in downtown Port-au-Prince, a place devastated a decade ago. This might just be how the country is remembered 1 year later, how nothing has changed. Well, a decade later, Notre Dame Cathedral has had all of its rubble removed. You can actually see the floor. Take a look. But the question now is, will this church ever be rebuilt? You can see some Haitians are making the best of a bad situation. This mother who lives in a tent city just outside the cathedral is schooling her children in the middle of the afternoon. And the mother tells me all three of them were not even born when the earthquake hit on January 12th, 2010. This is one of the first places I came to after the earthquake, and we landed here in Port-au-Prince just outside the cathedral. And a tent city had grown pretty much overnight. And many of the people who were here 10 years ago are here now a decade later, still living in a tent city. This amphitheater in downtown Port-au-Prince, just across from the National Palace, represents a small sign of progress after the quake. And here's another sign of progress. The Church of the Sacred Heart, which collapsed during the earthquake, is slowly being rebuilt, but you can see there is still a lot of work that needs to be done. Well, 10 years really aren't long enough for a nation to recover from a magnitude 7 earthquake that really just rocked this nation. And certainly not a nation facing the kinds of pressing issues that this nation is facing, including a lack of leadership, political instability, broken promises, and lots of corruption. Nicole and Louis, I'll send it back to you.
Calvin, what is taking so long in this recovery process?
I think the fact that so much money was pledged to help this country and not all of the promises were kept. But you got to keep in mind, let's just take the last 18 months alone. There have been so many protests here day after day after day, all calling for the president to resign, which he says he is not going to resign. But those protests have led to so much political instability that this country really cannot find the kind of leadership to keep those projects that they wanted to rebuild and to wanted to start to build after the earthquake. They really haven't been able to fund those projects and to get them off the ground. So this country has had a lot missing over the last 10 years, not to mention the government has been completely just mired in so much controversy, corruption, and turmoil.
A country that has been through so much, it continues to go through so much. Our Calvin Hughes reporting live in Port-au-Prince. We'll see you again tonight. Thank you, Calvin.